Hi, welcome everyone. I'm going to take a couple minutes here to get us settled in. So if you're here and you're watching with us, stay tuned and we will get started in just a couple minutes. Great. How is everyone? I'm so jazzed about this juicy topic. I'm like really excited to share this with you guys today. And just feel really grounded. Thanksgiving is an interesting time, isn't it? Welcome, everyone. Get some people tagged in here. And we'll get started in just a couple minutes. If you're just joining us, just hang out for a couple minutes here and then we'll get started. Awesome, okay. I noticed last time there's a bit of delay when it comes to commenting and stuff. So if I don't obviously see your comment right away, I will keep looking for it and don't lose faith. I will see your comments. Oh, guys, this has been a whirlwind of a week for me. It's been really awesome. I had my birthday yesterday and we've been celebrating it since Friday, and it's a special year for me. 33 is a powerful year, I think. Jesus, I think, died when he was 33, and several other spiritual leaders. There was like stuff with the age 33. So my week has just been really beautiful, and I've been just deeply contemplating life this year more than ever. I've definitely had my fair share of years where I feel sorry for myself on my birthday, or years where I like, you know, demanding I don't know, special treatment or gifts or things, and this year felt like none of that. It just has felt so beautiful and grounded. Hi, if you guys are watching, I would love if you would say hello in the comments. Just put a little hello, and then I will know that there are people watching, there are people engaging here. All righty, my friends, let's jump in. I wanted to speak, and I haven't spoken a whole lot to this angle, and it's important, and it really felt like time to speak to this to women who are high achievers, women who are really badasses, and who are like, I'm going to get it done, and if it has to be, it's up to me. And you're my women, like. That's me too. But I've been talking to a lot of you, this kind of woman. And if you're watching this right now and thinking that doesn't really describe me, just hang in. I'm sure you'll get something really powerful out of this. But you, this woman who doesn't have a lot of time, and trust me, I am not going to waste your time because I know you don't have a lot of time. This is important. Stick around. You know, give me 15 minutes of your time. Give your marriage and your intimacy 15 minutes of your time. Okay, can you do that? Can you hang in here? You are tired. I know that. You are tired of being the one who does everything, especially in your partnership. It's like, give me a business, I can do it all. Whatever, even like give me kids, sure. Like I got this, I can do it all. I'm superwoman. Give me projects, you know, community service, whatever, like I can do it. But when it comes to your partnership, you had hoped for something different. And here you are finding yourself feeling burdened by your marriage and tired of doing all the work. And I know this place personally. So I actually want to share personal experience first. I used to look at my husband and I was basically a judgy hoe. I would honestly think these things. I would think, you are so freaking lazy. Sure, sit there and play your game, your new phone game, and I'll just be over here reading a self-help book and changing our future. Or sure, like throw your socks everywhere. I'll just be over here making our lives and home amazing. Sure, sleep in for the millionth time in a row. I'll just be over here crushing it. Don't worry about me. You guys relating with this at all? Or we would argue about something, and sometimes I would just push him just to see where his spine was. And I literally would think, does he have a spine? Gosh, and then it would make me really kind of spiral. I mean, would this man even protect me if we got into a dangerous situation? Would he protect our children? Like, if we were out living on the plains right now, would he be like making sure our family was taken care of? Do you guys relate with this? Hi, I'm seeing a couple messages come through. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Miriam. Thanks for joining, guys. I mean, that's like the yuckiest feeling, right? And I know that this is not the fairy tale that we signed up for. And I also know that we're all saints here, and we don't want to admit feeling this way, right? I've also talked to clients who have said, like, and I took some specific phrases that I've heard people say. I am a high achiever and he's lazy. He doesn't step up. Or I resist adoring my husband. I'm irritated and resentful of him. Or I shut down intimacy with him, basically out of irritation. And one friend shared recently, I do all the housework, feed everyone delicious food. I take care of my body. I never say no, and I make the big bucks. So what's not to love? But for me, I get irritated because I feel like he doesn't step up. I mean, it's really true, right? It's like, we are badasses, and why don't, like, we want our husband to match that, right? Why isn't he matching that? And doesn't he realize the catch? Like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. So what emotions does this bring up for you? As busy women, we don't take the time to feel our emotions. So what emotions does this bring up for you? I know right at the surface, it's like this frustration, irritation, resentment, right? I want to invite you to like actually feel that. Take 20 seconds right now. Feel that in your body. How does that show up in your body? Frustration, irritation, just that feeling. What is that in your physical body? Is it tight shoulders? Is it this tight feeling in your gut? What is that? Is it a wall? And then what's underneath that? Those are all kind of surfacey ones, right? Is it hurt? Is it sadness? Maybe even a grieving loss of what you thought you would have, but you don't have right now. Or is it fear? Maybe it's fear. Notice what that feels like in your body. Tightness in my chest and diaphragm. All in my throat. Yeah. Sometimes just taking that moment to sit and feel is where all the clarity comes in. We think we don't have time to feel our feelings, but we have to, because we don't have time. We don't have time for this BS that we're experiencing. So we have to take the time to feel our feelings so we can get to that clarity. Now, what is it costing us to stay in this place? What is it really costing us? Now, you may think I'm asking, what is it costing me to stay in my marriage? Because obviously my husband's the problem, right? I'm not asking that. I'm actually asking about this state, this belief. I have to do it all. Everything is up to me. Like I have to everything. Make my husband amazing, make my marriage amazing, make my family amazing, make my business amazing. What is it costing you to carry these beliefs, this intensity, this frustration all the time? Is it affecting your kids? Do they see it? Is it affecting your home? And if you run a business or you're in some kind of leadership position, is it dragging down your potential? Is it dragging down your income? Is it dragging down your potential for influence and impact? How does this affect you? Because you are worn out and tired, right? Carrying this is tiring. And I know from experience, it's so frigging exhausting. So what's the cost? Yeah, fear I don't have control. Yeah, that's right, Tessa. What is this really costing us? So let me tell you a story about a client that I had. I want to share this in as few words as possible to get across the point, and I'll of course keep her anonymous, but this client came to me and she was so downtrodden. I mean, she was like a shell of herself, and she had been doing this, what we're talking about, for years and years. She said everything really started to shift once they started having their kids, and she was just pouring everything into them, even like breastfed them until they were 4, and you know, all the things. And she was so just a shell at this point. That's the cost, guys. That's the cost. And that's when she came to me. And she started, you know, expressing some of the issues. Okay, now this is an extreme case, but they had a studio that they owned that was next to their home. Her husband spent almost all of his time in the studio next to their home. Didn't want to come over, didn't want to spend time with the family, never pursued her physically anymore. There was no spark. There was hardly any conversation. And she's over there. Of course, he wasn't helping in the home. He was never even in the home. He spent all of his time over at this studio that had become his man cave. And it was just, you know, oh, I just need more time to unwind and relax. I just need more time. It became all the time. And she was so frustrated. I mean, what would you feel in that situation, right? Like, she was just beyond herself. And as we dug a little deeper, I mean, she was looking at divorce. She was terrified, and she was fighting hard. What would you do in that situation? I mean, she went from nagging him and criticizing him, and it was a ping pong of all these different strategies: nagging him, criticizing him, sometimes just belligerently yelling at him, telling him like, you have to be with the family, you signed up for this, right? And then there were other attempts to like trying to lure him with her femininity, trying to make a fancier meal so that it made him want to come over, trying to get more exciting activities that they could do together as a family. Like she was trying really hard because underneath it all, she was so afraid that she was going to lose her family. Like, what would that mean for her? She just felt like, I have to do this. I have to save everything. They both worked and she made all the meals. She did everything, right? So she tried all these things. She had exhausted all her efforts. And I want you to think now about your situation. How many different things have you tried to get this situation to change? How many different things have you tried? I mean, if you're brave enough, share in the comments. Like, what have you tried? Have you tried some of the things that she tried? Like manipulating, trying to control him, trying to nag him, trying to lure him, trying anything. And I have no judgment, right? I have done all of those things as well. I have done all those things. Because we're super capable. So we're like, wait a second, this isn't working. How can I get this to work? So she started working with me, and the biggest perspective shift that she needed, you guys, was that she had to stop. She had to stop, totally stop doing all that stuff. Stop doing it from a place of trying to get him to. Stop doing anything because she should. She had to stop. And I see this a lot too, the duty sex thing. Stop, we had to stop, right? In her case, it was trying to get him anything, to do anything. She had to just stop. And from the outside, it didn't look all that different, her changes. And let me tell you what I mean. Because when she let go of trying anything, all this stuff with him, she just let him go. She just let him go. Gosh, that's the scariest part. Let him go in our heart. Just, okay, you are you. I may not be able to make this work, or we might. But what do I do with all this energy, all this work I've been putting into this thing? You bring it back here. So she started pursuing what she wanted. And you guys, you know, you may be thinking, oh, great, just another thing for me to do. No, 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 no. This is about setting yourself free from all the shoulds and all the overwhelm, all the stuff that's weighing heavy on you. Oh, can you feel that? Like she set herself freaking free. It was like, no more, no more. One small example, she would always pester him about dinner. She went through all this work to make this nice dinner for him, to bring him over and get him to be part of the family. And she stopped. She decided, I still want dinner and I still want family dinner. So I'm going to make the dinner and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be exactly what I want it to be. And I'm not going to text message him. I'm not going to call him. I'm not going to do any of it. I'm just going to have the dinner and I'm going to fully enjoy this dinner and make it for me. And she made a plate for him. And the first couple times he missed dinner, I was like, oh, why didn't you text me? Like, where was all your pestering calls that I hate so much, you know? But eventually he started coming over on his own. He started asking, hey, what time do you think dinner will be ready? I want to make sure that I'm there, right? And then it became, hey, you know what? I realized you do a lot with dinner and I don't even know how to cook. Maybe like one night a week, you could just kind of teach me as you go. I am not kidding you. Is that not a miracle? And maybe dinner isn't your guys' issue, but I'm telling you, this works, people. This works. No shoulding. That's right, Gina. No shoulding. So there's a small example. Another example, her sensuality. This gets juicy, guys, but he had physical issues that nobody could control, but he had shame issues that he could control, shame issues that made it so he didn't show up for her at all. So it was like, okay, look, what are the options here? Like, is this really important to you? Yeah. Like, I'm a sexual being and I'm turned on all the time and I want sex and I want to be desired and I want all of that, right? And I want pleasure, all of that. So she let herself fully embody her sensuality. She pursued and looked at, what does my sensuality mean to me? I just want to feel that. I want to feel like the divine permission to be a sexual being because I have a body and that's my right to do that. And so she did that. And I'm not talking about affairs, certainly not. But within herself, she just thought, what does it mean to be sensual? What turns me on? What do I love? And she came alive. She came alive in her sensuality. And wouldn't you know it, he grew interested. He started coming around. And not only that, but she invited him in to do coaching as well. They started really working on their issues. He started working on his erectile dysfunction, you guys. And they have beautiful sex. They have beautiful sex now, all the time. And it's so fulfilling. And it's not perfect, because it can't be perfect, because he has erectile dysfunction. Okay, like, right. But they experience true intimacy and pleasure and sensuality and sexuality. Because she let him go and she set herself free. So bringing this back to you. In your heart of hearts, this is a question I want to ask your soul. Do you believe that you are worthy of a man who is in his full masculinity? This man that you say you want him to be. Do you believe you're worthy of that? I like to think about Jesus Christ himself. And maybe you might think this is blasphemous, but this is what I think of. Like, to me, Jesus Christ is the man's man. He's like the man's man. And I'm like, do I believe I would be worthy to be pursued by the man's man? Makes me emotional. Because sisters, this is who we are. That was Jesus's whole point of being here, is to show us who we are. To show our men who they are, and to show us as women who we are, and that we can have this beautiful coupling, this beautiful divine feminine, divine masculine. So do you believe you're worthy of that? I would love to hear in the comments. Do you believe you're worthy of that? Do you actually believe you're worthy of the kind of pursuing and cherishing, protective energy, him being a leader? Are you worthy of that? Dig into that in your heart. Okay, then the other question is, do you even give him space to be that? Do you actually see him as who he really is? Or do you only see him as the lazy, spineless, lack of leadership guy? This is big. It's big, because if he hasn't shown you who he really is, it's hard, right? It's hard to see who he really is. But if we are asking for this man to meet us where we are, in our truth, in our divine femininity, and we're trying to call him in, and we are only criticizing him and only seeing him as a loser, he's going to keep showing up as a loser. This is hard truths, guys. But this matters so much. So much. Let's see what our comments say here. able to see all the comments, so I hope I'm not missing anything anybody has said. So, to recap, guys, you hold the power to set yourself free. When you start pursuing your life from a place of giving yourself everything you want because you want it, and really seeing yourself as who you are, and your divine feminine is absolutely worthy of a man that matches that, and you start seeing, even if all you can do is envision a shell of a man who is your partner, and maybe your husband climbs up and steps into that shell, and maybe he doesn't. We don't know, right? But even if that's all you can do is envision a shell of a man who matches your energy, that divine feminine who you really are, do that. Do that. That is what is going to make the biggest difference for you and set you free. So I'm going to do a quick energy shift here. Again, if you're not really familiar with energy work, if you don't want it, your spirit will reject it. If you do want it, then just type yes in the comments or say yes in your heart space and you can receive this. But I am awakening within each of us through our whole Sushumna, our spinal energy channel, just awakening within us our worthiness to have a man who is strong and supportive, who is deep and spiritual, who is a beautiful balance within himself, who is a leader, that we are worthy, and we know we are worthy. I'm awakening within us that divine femininity, that awareness. We're calling that awareness in like a crown placed on our heads. We're calling that awareness in. We are shifting our energy right now. We are stepping into who we really are, because we are not going to let this hold us back anymore. It's not going to hold us back. Take a nice deep breath and just breathe that in. I'm sensing like some walls here, and this can be coming from anyone who's watching the replay. I'm like just sort of tapping into energy as I'm getting yeses. This could be come from anyone who's watching the replay or who's watching here live now, but I'm sensing some walls here in the heart space. Like, what are the walls saying? I've been hurt too many times. I can't let him into those deep innermost parts. Okay, so can that clear? Yep, now we're just sweeping that away like a broom, sweeping that away. And then that's cleared that. That's associated with root chakra. There's a block there that says, but again, I'm not safe. I'm not safe to do this. I'm not safe to be who I really am. And I'm not safe to let him be who he really is. And can this clear? Almost all the way can clear. What else is holding it back? Something like some sort of rod about being who I really am, like a rod going up my spine. I can be flexible and I can be strong and secure and trust. There it is. I can trust the universe. I don't have to trust my husband right now. I can trust the universe to support me. I can trust Mother Earth to support me, and calling that energy in, and just picture that energy pulling in from your feet all the way to the crown of your head and up and out the crown of your head. I'm fully supported to step into who I really am. Place your hand on your heart. Just breathe that in. If you want to accept those shifts, accept those changes. Ooh, isn't that juicy? I just love that. Oh, you guys. When I let go in my own life, I shared with you about my client at the beginning. I shared with you about me. When I let go and I really let my husband be the person that he's meant to be, it's been beautiful to behold. I feel like I have a front row seat to this man becoming like God, like king of his dominion. And it's amazing. And more than that, he pursues me in those deep parts in myself that I never thought I would let anyone go there. He gets to my walls and he gently just tips them over and keeps pursuing in the deepest, innermost parts. And it is so fulfilling. And that's why, guys, you deserve that. This isn't about all the shoulds. This isn't about fixing your marriage. This is about you getting what you came here for. And if that calls to you, that desire was placed within you by your maker. You can't make that crap up because it's there. It's like burning in your bosom. Take a deep breath in. I would recommend go back and journal on some of these questions. Notice what blocks are coming up for you around this. This video will be up for the next 24 hours, and we're going to pull it down and make it available in about a week on my website for donation. The main reason I'm doing that is because I want you guys to watch these now. I want you to make these shifts now. You need this now. You need to do this now. And if this calls to you and you're like, I need help, I can't do this by myself, then hello, yeah, you're not alone, because this is not easy. We were not meant to come here and do this stuff alone. So let's book a call. Let's set up a call, 15-minute intimacy catalyst call. And it may just be a small shift that you need to make in your life to really start embracing what you want and get this last piece of the puzzle out of the way. This is not about more things on your should list or your to-do list. This is about you pursuing you, and you're divine. This is who you are. Thanks, guys.